Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Vintage, and this is a donation request from subscriber Oliver. Oliver didn't send me a list. Oliver just said, play some Oath, which is not a hard sell for me because Oath of Druids is one of my favorite decks in Magic's history. So if you're not familiar, Oath is a 2-mana green enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, if their opponent controls more creatures than they do, they get to flip cards off the top of their deck till they reveal a creature, put that creature into play, and put all the revealed cards into the graveyard. In Vintage, there's not a whole lot of creatures played in general. So if you need to give your opponent a creature, Forbidden Orchard is the combo here. Tap for any color. When you tap Forbidden Orchard for mana, target opponent creates a 1/1 colorless spirit token. So the dream with Oath of Druids is Forbidden Orchard, Mox, Oath on turn 1. Like that's your nut draw. With the rise of Xerox lately, by lately I mean in the last few years really, which in Vintage is recently, 4 years ago, just the other day. But so with the rise of Xerox, that is a creature-based deck for the most part. Like they're going to have Lavinia or Tarmogoyf for Deathrite Shaman or something. So Oath can crush any deck that actually wants to produce creatures of its own. Shops, Oath is historically a great matchup against Shops. So that it's a good time to be messing around with Oath. What you do around the Oath shell is wildly customizable. So there's like, I mean, you need your Force of Wills, you need your Ancestral Recalls, you need your fast mana, but the differences vary from there. And this list, this is a 5-0 list from Marshall Arthurs, friend of the show. I live in Pittsburgh, he lives in Ohio. We're basically neighbors. So Marshall, I didn't have a plan going in. I just looked at Oath lists on MTG Goldfish, and Marshall has multiple 5.0s posted with various versions of this shell. And basically what he's done is stick Oath into RUG Xerox. Like Wrenn and 6, Wasteland, Strip Mine. That's a RUG Xerox start. Like Wrenn and 6 is the best card in RUG Xerox. He only has the 3 RUG Moxen. He doesn't have all 5. A lot of the times Oath wants all 5 to maximize the turn 1 Oath, but Marshall's playing a little conservative here, just minimizing the package. And he's got all these Planeswalkers. Talked about Wrenn and 6 already, but Narset and Oko, they can win a game without Oath ever triggering. Oko is phenomenal technology for Oath because the type of cards that stop Oath, like Grafdigger's Cage, Oko, not only do you no longer have a Grafdigger's Cage, but now it's a creature that triggers Oath. So I remember when Oko was printed, it was very exciting technology for Oath. And the package is pretty small, the Oath package. There's 2 Griselbrands, and that's it. Some Oath decks have a combo shell, like you Oath into Griselbrand, and then you use Underworld Breach to use all the cards that got milled off of the Oath. Some Oath decks have used Tendrils of Agony in the past, like you mill into Griselbrand, draw 14, and then storm out. Some have used Vault Key, like you Oath into Griselbrand, draw 14, and most of the time you can assemble Time Vault and Voltaic Key. Other Oath decks are just put a big monster into play and be a control deck to protect it, and that's kind of where we are here. And the last super exciting card here is Court of Bounty, which I have not seen in a deck yet in any format. So this is in the court cycle. If you follow my content, you know I'm really into the blue court and I like the white court as well. I've even played the black court on this channel, but this one, 4 mana, ETB, you're the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a land from your hand into play. If you're the Monarch, instead you may put a creature or land. So obviously it has this little like show and tell aspect of if you draw your Griselbrand, you have a way to put it in. But more subtly is that even the land version, if you have Wrenn and 6 pumping, you can Wasteland or Strip Mine twice in a turn. with Court of Bounty, and that's pretty insane. Like, Wrenn and 6 can actually catch up with a developed opponent and slowly whittle them down, like net negative lands per turn instead of just stopping further development. That's pretty insane. So I'm excited about this list. I love Oath. I love Xerox, and this is kind of both. So let's get into these matches. I'm on the play in round 1. You don't mulligan very many Black Lotus hands, but this is definitely one of them. All right, this has a turn 2 Oko with Force backup, so I'll keep it. So now the question is, do I run Mox Sapphire out to play around spheres, or do I leave it in my hand to play around deck or removal? I'm just going to run it out. They're going to force it. So now we find out what we're up against and hope that Oko is good. So we got a Scalding Tarn Go. Which could mean anything, really. Could mean nothing. And we know they're a blue deck. There's at least that. So I could go for this Oko, but that's jamming straight into Red Blast. But it's also just like pretty strong if it resolves. All right, this is vintage. I'm here to slam. And I will pitch force with force if I need to force. Like, I'm not gonna lose my preordain here. Okay, Oko just resolved, seemingly unmolested. All right. Wow, I just get it again. All right, I'm gonna elk this immediately before they get priority again to do anything else. And I have Orchard, so now if I find Oath, ooh, Court. Do I want to just jam Court of Bounty into play? I honestly might. All right, so I'm gonna attack. I do have to watch out for Oko because if I make like 2 or 3 elks, I can't Oath anymore because the Forbidden Orchard won't be able to catch up. So that is something to consider while playing this particular list. All right, so they could have Hull Breacher here. We're just gonna Red Blast. Okay, he's done his job. Ooh, yikes. I have to tap Forbidden Orchard to give them to get Court of Bounty on the stack. All right, I should have cast Court of Bounty in my main phase to know if it's going to resolve or not, so I can attack. All right, this is actually kind of dangerous, but I still think I'm going to do it. I have this blocker. This card's actually very hard to counter because it's not red and it's not a spell. Pyroblast and Flusterstorm are the main counter spells in Vintage. I think they're currently debating. All right, Force pitching Force. Is this the fight I want to fight, or do I want to take my 2 for 1 and just dig through time? I think that if I wasn't giving them a creature, yeah, I missed 3 damage because I didn't do this first main, so my bad. If I wasn't giving them a creature, if this was just Tropical Island, I would have forced back, but fighting over that just to lose the Monarch to Lightning Bolt or Swords to Plowshares is not okay to me. All right, that was an aggressive spew of fetch lands there. I feel like they're going to make some sort of move, maybe dig through time this turn. Oh, Vamp Tutor. All right. So they could be at 10 if I had sequenced correctly. See how punishing that ends up being. gosh. Well, I know that a card they actually just searched for is on top of their deck. Alright, how fucked am I? Alright, the Ancestral is in the graveyard, which doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot in this matchup, because they're very good at casting it from the graveyard. Oh, hello! Little Ancestral of my own. I mean, they didn't fight over theirs, so I don't think they're going to be able to fight over mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I can dig pretty easily here. I could also dig on their turn if I think it's going to matter. Like, I know dig's going to resolve right now. Like, Flusterstorm last turn would have been good enough. Yeah, I think they just have nothing. And I do have Planeswalkers that incentivize me to make the move first. Okay, I'm doing it. Blue, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, there's Oath and Ren and Oko and Time Walk. Or Oath and Time Walk sounds pretty good. All right, Oath and Time Walk is the play. So Grizzlebrand is probably coming here. All right, we have our first Oath trigger. One Grizzlebrand is 5 cards from the bottom. The other one was pretty high up, actually. All right, cool. Strip Mine. Yep, classic Oath. The coast was clear and you got comboed. All right, so we're playing against what looks like to be Jeskai. Oh wait, no, not Jeskai Xerox, because we did see black. So I saw Force of Negation, which is not a card that's normally in Paradoxical Outcome, because they want to fight on their own turn, not on your turn. Could be some sort of 4-color Xerox. Could be Breach, just regular old Breach. All right, I'm pretty sure I definitely want my Pyroblast, no matter what. The debate is if I want Soul Guide Lantern, and if so, in what quantity? Do I want a Braid? So Pyroblast is a big yes. What do I take out? Oath is such a tight package. I'll take out Force of Negation for Pyroblast. And I could bring in a Soul Guide Lantern, like, just in case. Just some mild graveyard disruption, if I think that's something I'm worried about. This list is really good. Like, I'm discovering everything about... I'm like learning how to play this list in real time, obviously. Wait, is there only one Forbidden Orchard in this list? Wow, I didn't even notice that. Marshall's a maniac. Wow, I'm pretty lucky I drew that. Okay, so it looks like Oko is my primary Forbidden Orchard, like my way to give them a creature. All right, wow, I had not even noticed that during the deck tech, but okay. All right, Marshall. All right, I think I do want one Soul Guide Lantern. There's a good chance that they're Breach. Though I think Ravenous Trap might be better than Lantern, if that is the case. Is that even true? Do I want anything? Like, what would I have to cut to get it, I guess is the problem. I could go one less Oath. One less Oath, one Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, I'll try that. Now that I know there's only one Forbidden Orchard, I'm probably gonna shave on Oaths pretty often. Because you're unlikely to have the turn 1 Oath ever. I'll keep this. It has turn 2 Oath. I don't have a way to make a creature, but in Oko is my way to make a creature. And just floating Oath into play is pretty powerful, even if you don't have the Orchard, because now your opponent can't play creatures. All right, we got something coming. Night's Whisper. Yeah, okay. All right, so this might be outcome. All right, you love to draw your Grizzlebrand. Just great stuff. That's one of the big deck building considerations with Oath, that sometimes you draw your monsters. So you have to play a number of monsters that isn't going to ruin your hand. Sometimes people choose monsters that are castable, like Brian Kelly won Vintage Champs with Auriok Salvagers and Dragonlord Dramoka as his monsters. All right, I hope they do fight over this, because I have the second one, and I don't even have really a way to... I guess I could elk any of their Moxen, but I would love for this to get forced, honestly. So undo that Night's Whisper. Him to Turok, baby. Like, there's no rush. If they counter this, I'm not going to force back. Like, Grizzlebrand on turn 4 is just as good as Grizzlebrand on turn 3 in this sort of back and forth game, as long as I don't draw the second one. All right, Oath is in. They seem to think for a pretty long time about that. Like, I wonder if they have a counterspell and they're debating whether they want to protect their own engine or fight over mine. Merchant Scroll. Okay, so against a lot of these decks, you want to counter the Merchant Scroll because once the Ancestral's in the graveyard, they have a lot of ways to rebuy it. But I'm gonna choose this fight. All right, yeah, they were gonna win that fight either way, so you got me. But that does tap them off of red for this Oko. Though I am starting to be in trouble. Oh, good. I drew all 3 Oaths after boarding one out. So this Oko has to work, basically. It probably won't. They have 6 cards in hand. Yep, wrecked. All right, so these are the spots where drawing Forbidden Orchard is just perfect because your opponent can't really interact with it. They can't really cast any creatures, but their deck doesn't look like it wants to. Like, this does look like a combo deck to me. I would guess Breach over PO, but we'll see. Top, bottom. All right, Force with no blue card. At least now I'm untapped. I can represent Pyroblast or Flusterstorm. Just make them think about something. Yeah, for as good as Oath looked in game 1, these are the games that turn people away from the deck. It's just, I've drawn 3 Oaths and one of my monsters, and all right, I'll play a backup Oath. Just in case they have some answer to one of them, I'll have protection for the other. And now I'm very clearly telegraphing Pyroblast. Though I guess it's not really super obvious. All right, they're definitely Breach. They should be targeting themselves with these, right? Yeah. Alright, so they're trying to fuel their graveyard for a breach. I need a blue card, like ASAP. Oh, have I lost? Okay, so they're going to get to Ancestral several times. Or they could Brain Freeze. I have Gaia's Blessing in my deck, so they actually need to kill me somehow other than milling me out. That's another like sweet part of Oath in this meta. Oath just plays Gaia's Blessing anyway, so it doesn't deck itself with Oath, and it happens to be really good against Brain Freeze. So if they cast this Teferi, I will Pyroblast it. I don't know why they would do that though. So you can just replay anything again. Yeah, so they're probably going to Brain Freeze themselves and then Brain Freeze me. If they find a Lightning Bolt, they might be able to kill me. Brain Freeze. All right, they're targeting themselves with the Brain Freeze, or at least with the original. Yeah, this is the fuel. All right, they found a Mentor. That's actually terrifying. So they can cast the Mentor, and then if they find Time Walk, I lose. And they should be able to find Time Walk with his Brain Freeze. Let's hope they get irresponsible and just come after me with the Brain Freeze. They don't seem to be making white mana with this Lotus Petal, or at least not prioritizing it. Oh, this Vamp Tutor's a little scary. All right, Gitaxian Probe. So now they see that my hand sucks. They're chewing up their graveyard pretty aggressively, though. I have to assume they know what they're doing, but I would have prioritized Mentor. All right, so these Brain Freezes are targeting them again, so they're going to have their whole deck available. Oh, nope, they switched the target to me. Okay, cool. Gaia's Blessing, let's go. At least some of these targeted me. Oh, they found Time Walk. All right, yeah, their whole deck is in their graveyard. So, oh, okay. So that means they have to win now. If they Time Walk into Mentor, they lose because they're out of cards in their deck. Unless there is a Lightning Bolt left in their hand. All right, I think Gaia's Blessing is going to win me this game. I guess if Ravenous Trap is a card in their hand. Let's see if they played around it. Oh no, they can just Ancestral me. I guess it depends on when my Gaia's Blessing gets milled. Because at some point they'll be able to Ancestral me. As long as Blessing isn't one of like my bottom 9 cards. Okay, Blessing triggered. Whoop. Nice. Okay. Dodged. All right, cool. All right, Gaia's Blessing for the save. They Pyroblasted their own Brain Freeze. But why? Oh, they're going to Brain Freeze me again. Okay, I get it. Cool, cool, cool. All right, they're a much better Breach pilot than I am. Yeah, now they're going to mill me out in response and then Ancestral me, but I do have the Pyroblast for the Ancestral. They can cast it twice, though. Okay. They got me. Yep, the Lotus plus the pedal. That'll do. Yeah, that was super cool. I'm sure Breach players had a plan for this. Like they knew that this might happen. But all right. Obviously, I'm not deep on the Oath versus Breach matchup. Okay, so Force of Negation can come in. Is Negation better than Vigor though? Like I could bring in Force of Vigors to clip their Breach on the turn that it matters, or I could just bring in this Graveyard Hate. I did have Soul Guide Lantern. I could have the Rav Traps to go with it. Mentor was pretty scary. Okay, so time to figure this out. It feels kind of bad having 3 Oaths in my deck and drawing all 3 last game, but I'm not sure that cutting more of them is right. I don't want to get like results oriented after just one game. Pyroblast is actually not that great because their one card that matters the most is red. So I can diversify Soul Guide Lantern and Ravenous Trap. I don't think I want a Braid. They did show me Mentor, but I can fight over that with Forces or just pressure it with Oath. I think sitting Soul Guide Lantern in play is better than Ravenous Trap. Though last game they saw the Soul Guide Lantern because they milled me out, and they didn't see Rav Trap because it wasn't in my deck. So I want a little bit of each. Gotta cut one more card here. And the Court of Bounty is pretty wonky, I guess, in this hyper efficient matchup of combo decks. Do I want a Force of Vigor to fully diversify my answers to Breach? I don't think so. All right, I'm gonna do this. I think it would be okay to cut another Oath, but I did not make that choice. This hand is not very good. This hand's a lot better. So I'm gonna send Gaia's Blessing to the bottom. I'm gonna preordain and see where that goes. So I have some Graveyard Hate. You don't need to jam it on turn 1, like it's not Dredge or Hogak. This is a game where we're gonna go back and forth for a while. I think I actually want both of these. Though, yeah, okay. Keep them all. I'm not gonna Black Lotus Time Walk right now. I think both of those cards can be used better. I just hang a land out there for my Wasteland. It's all going to plan. That was not part of the plan, but okay. So they played around Force of Negation and into Flusterstorm with that line. I don't think they'd seen a Wasteland yet off me. Then Soul Guide Lantern exiling their Ancestral is actually a huge deal. So this is something they're probably going to have to fight over because that is part of their win con with Gaia's Blessing in my deck. They're thinking hard about this one. They don't want to force this, but they're determining if they have to. Nice. Yep, exile that ancestral. All right, that gives me a lot of breathing room. Now Mentor is their plan A. Maybe they'll miss their land drop and just discard 2 cards. Wishful thinking. All right, they are going to discard 1 card though. Brain Freeze. All right, so I can exile a Brain Freeze too if I so desire. All right, so this is a situation. I'm not going to gush this turn because I've already used my land drop. I could Time Walk into a more efficient gush, or I could just save my Time Walk and sit on these blue spells. If I play my Lotus, I can hardcast Force, which might be something I'm interested in. Yeah, I'll run that out. Yeah, I need to fight over Mentor basically at this point. Like Ancestral's gone. Brain Freeze doesn't kill me because of Gaia's Blessing, and then Breach is covered by this Graveyard Hate. And next turn I get a full value Gush, just float 2, Gush, still get my land drop. I mean, they can Red Blast it, but not a whole lot to be done about that. Yeah, I'm going to go for my Gush here. Float blue, blue. I guess I could preordain first and see if I find an answer. Though I don't play Flusterstorm, Pyroblast doesn't help. Yeah, I'm just going to float blue, blue, Gush. They've already resolved an Ancestral Recall, so I don't know that forcing this is something I want to do. Blessing. No, that's a bottom, bottom. Yeah, being able to spend all your Gush mana is super nice. Okay, now we got a plan. All right, so if I top, all right, this Black Lotus is still here and I have a land drop. So I could cast Ren, or I could just hold up Pyroblast for a turn. Like, I would really like to string together a way where I can protect my Ren in 6 and cast Time Walk. Not sure if all of that's going to be available, because Ren will win this game based on how things are set up right now. All right, I think I'm going to top and just hold up this Pyroblast. Oh wait, I can draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern too. So if I make green, 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 draw a card. Oh, then I don't have... Oh, I think I needed to play my Tropical Island if I was going to take that line. All right, I'm going to pass. Yeah, I think if I play my Tropical Island and make red with Black Lotus, sack this to draw a card, then I have red, red, green floating. I can cast Ren with Pyroblast backup. Pyroblast and Force backup. Teferi. I'll take the clean counter here. All right, so they want to fight over this. I guess so basically what's going on here is I can force Teferi and lose my Time Walk, or I could try to just like ignore Force of Will forever and try to get Ren plus Time Walk happening next turn. I think that's actually better. And if they minus Teferi, Ren can pick it off anyway. Basically, I get blown out if they have another Force of Will. All right, one of their cards in hand is Lotus Petal. Okay, so how do I maximize this turn? I can go red, green. Yeah, I think I save my Lotus and just see if Ren's going to resolve before I do anything else. All right, please don't have Force. Damn it. All right. Yeah, that would have won the game for sure. So I guess I may have gotten greedy with the time walk. Like, if I fight over Teferi again, then they don't have their Force. Yeah, that might have been bad. Yeah, it's tough to get into the vintage mindset of everything's a haymaker. Sometimes, like in Legacy, I would always take like the 2-for-1 and then over time, but a single card wins like Ren and 6 are probably worth spewing any extra resources like the Time Walk and everything to protect. So that was a mindset problem. Oh shit. Okay, I thought they were about to dig through time, which is still something I should have some respect for, probably. At some point, it's probably right to just bomb their graveyard with Soul Guide Lantern. Not having Force up is kind of shitty, but yeah, okay, there's that. Missed my opportunity to make that play. But now that they've exiled their graveyard anyway, I could probably just safely draw a card with the Lantern. I'm pretty sure they can't kill me with Brain Freeze with Ancestral in exile. I don't think there's another card that makes me draw cards in their deck. Murchy Scrolly. Sure. That's exile. Like, what do they get here? Your Ancestral's already gone. They already have a Brain Freeze. They have like a Hercules Recall or something, or Chain of Vapor to mess up my Soul Guide Lantern. I don't know. Looks like they don't know either. They're taking a long time. Maybe they just get forced to make sure they don't lose. Okay, looks like they're digging for Mentor, which is what they should be doing right now. That is the whole plan. All right, I'm going to take a draw off of Soul Guide Lantern. I do need to get this game moving forward. Let's see if I can take this guy out. He's about to be able to draw another card, or they can wait another turn, but not having this force available for the inevitable Mentor is painful. They could fluster me, and I will use my Lotus to pay for it. That's definitely worth it here. I'm going to Time Walk. If they Red Blast it, I'm not doing a whole lot with this mana. Really, the way that this line fails is if they Red Blast this, then untap and jam Mentor when I don't have a blue card backup. Because I would have been untapping into Hardcast Force of Will, so right now my shields are down to Mentor. Uh-oh. Okay, well, here comes some fireworks. They have the brain freeze, so I guess if they... All right, so they probably can string together the Mentor plus Time Walk here. I guess it just depends on what order their deck is in, for the most part. Yeah, they have to brain freeze now because they're out of cards to exile. This is their last one for a little bit. This would be a great time to have Ravenous Trap. All right, they found Demonic Tutor, so that can get the Mentor. Yeah, I think I fucked up this game twice. Like both the Teferi fight where I got greedy uh, with the Time Walk, and then popping the Soul Guide Lantern when they have this pretty reasonable Mentor kill available to them. Though I guess their deck has to cooperate at least some amount. All right, so they DT'd for Lotus. I guess they can just DT for everything. Yeah, that doesn't even matter. Yeah, the number of cards in their deck is the only thing that matters, but they should be able to uh, DT for Mentor, DT for Time Walk, cast them both, Time Walk twice, and that should be game. I don't know, maybe they'll mess it up, or maybe they'll get unlucky. I don't know. All of these preordains they've cast have been kind of surprising to me. I would have been just all in on Demonic Tutor. Yeah, I wasn't aggressive enough with my Time Walk on the Ren and 6 turn, and then I was too aggressive this turn. Though, if they have the Red Blast for Time Walk, then they also have Red Blast for Force, so that's not actually even super defensible. Yeah, okay. I don't think I'm reverse engineering why my play was okay there. Like, I think that was actually reasonable logic. Like, if Time Walk resolved now, or if Time Walk doesn't resolve now, then Force wouldn't resolve then either, and I might as well go for the extra card draw, extra look. All right, they seem to be casting Demonic Tutor again. At long last. I guess if they brought in Graveyard Hate, they could also DT for like Ravenous Trap and then just burn me out. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to actually do that. So 16 is not a multiple of 3. Oh, their brain freeze is gone. All right, yeah, they are gonna get Time Walk and try to kill me all at once, and they're gonna exile their Lotus to do it. Okay, so this is kind of small ball. Like, I'm probably still dead, don't get me wrong. But it looks like they have exactly enough mana to Time Walk once. I feel like there was a line available to them where they could have Time Walked 2 or 3 times. I mean, this Mentor should do enough. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every spell is an extra 4 damage. I'm at 19. Narset should be worth a couple of spells. Yeah, I'm not sure how I can win this now. Another brain freeze. Okay, this is their only bonus turn. Not that it matters. Oh, look who decided to show up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they just cast the brain freeze and I lose. All right. I think I had opportunities to win that game and I messed them up. Just wasn't in a vintage mindset for one of them, and then was in too aggressive of a mindset for the other. All right, next round. On the play. All right, that's a keep. All day, every day. So I wish one of these lands was a blue card, but what are you going to do? I have two different insane turn 2 play options here. Oh god, we're playing against Dredgevine. Oh good, they found a wasteland. Cool. Hopefully they don't go for it. Like if they just go for Bazaar instead of trying to waste me. Float blue because it's free. Okay, interesting. Maybe I'll draw a Mox and just go to town. Hey. Alright, this deck probably has Force of Vigor in it though, which running the Oath out into like this might be a huge punish. Okay, they didn't have it right away. Alright, another wasteland. At some point, my Wren will catch up with these, and then it'll be no problem. Blessing. Okay, so I want to cast Blessing for the cantrip. And I'm only going to put one of these cards back into the deck. Wait. Do I even want to do that at all? Like, I could brainstorm my Blessing. No, I want to save my Blessing for post-Oath. Fuck a cantrip. And the game continues. Maybe I'll just draw my Orchard. Okay, well, they have strung together 3 strip mine effects to get us to this point where they still can't really take game actions because Oath of Druids is in play. All right, now I have counter spells up, but I'm not sure if they're going to matter. But I guess the Flusterstorm is actually really nice in case they do have Force of Vigor. Like, I'm not sure what this deck's plan to actually win the game is in the face of an Oath. All right, deck, I really have enough of those at this point. How about a green land? The insults continue. Turns out 3 strip mines is pretty solid. Though, if you'll notice, they have 8 cards in their hand and aren't doing anything with them because of this Oath. So I did what I needed to do, which was get my permanent into play. They're about to go to discard. I guess we'll see what they want to set up. Like, I wonder if they can make an all-out attack to win the game in one turn. Like, is that a thing they're capable of? Right, there's Hogak. All right, my second land for Gush. Not really in the form we were looking for, but it does work. Undiscovered Paradise. All right, so they are a Bloodghast deck. That's the reason to play that card. Oh my god. All right. I'm going to play Wren. So I'm still holding up Flusterstorm and Force of Will, and I can start rebuying stuff now. Maybe dealing 1 damage to them is more useful. I don't know. I have Gush to like pick up islands anyway, but now I have enough islands to Gush picking up Mystic Sanctuary and get the loop going. All right. I'm going to start with this preordain. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm actually going to start screwing them off of options. Who's the Wasteland deck now? Target player shuffles up to 3 target cards. All right, so I can target them with Gaia's Blessing. Bloodghast, Hogak, and sure, shuffle in the Mana Confluence too. Once Upon a Time in response. Don't think I care about that. And they can find another land drop with it. I drew my dig, and then in the end step I'm going to discard, I guess, this Tropical Island actually, because like discarding one of the redundant oaths is fine, but the trop, I have Ren doing its Ren things anyway. All right, there's Oko. That can give them a creature at some point, whether they like it or not. I can't make a creature though, because then they get to Oath. So I have to be careful about that. I guess Oko can't give them a creature whether they like it or not. Like I can't put food into play on their turn, in their side. So I guess this Oko is just on food duty until further notice. Eventually they'll be out of lands though, and I'll kill them somehow. Ren's pretty close to embleming. Force of Negation, Force of Will. I don't want any of that. I want Forbidden Orchard. That's what I'm actually looking for. Yeah, there's just no rush here. This game is under complete control. And I'm going to discard Oath rather than play it, because that feeds the Dig Through Time. Dig Through Time will look for the... Ooh. All right, they're making moves now. Dig Through Time will look for the Orchard, which will force the action. All right, looks like they are, in fact, making moves. All right, so Oath is going to trigger. They have Hollow One and Vengevine here. Let's see, do I force the Hollow One? Probably. I should dig in response and figure out what I want to do. Pyroblast, Abrade. Abrade's very good. Now I don't have to force Hollow One. So I'll take the Abrade and I guess the Brainstorm. Hey, none of it's great. Do I want Emerald just to have more mana? I don't think that's going to matter. Yeah, I'll take Abrade and Brainstorm. Okay, so you get a Hollow One. All right, what's left? Goblin Lore. My God. If I Flusterstorm this, Yeah, that's fine. I'm not fucking around with that. I don't even know what's going on right now. I still have the Force of Will. Like, I was saving the Flusterstorm for Force of Vigor, but I have Force of Will to cover that now, and I don't want to mess around with this lore. So Oath's going to trigger. I'm going to get a Grizzlebrand. Gaia's Blessing's already in my graveyard. Yikes. All right, well, I have lots of food I can eat. I have a braid for one of these. Grizzlebrand should check the rest of them. All right, face is the place. I can also run out a second Oath. Oh my god. Though I only have one monster to get, so that doesn't matter. Yes. Grizzlebrand was in my top like 3 cards. All right, so Time Walk is a good card to find right now. Probably among the best. Ren can actually emblem right now. Oh, Time Walk's in my graveyard. Get fucked. You're dead. Boom. Now I can just fire off Time Walks from the bin. There's one. Gosh. Here's 2. And then there's, yeah. All right. Easy game. So that game was really interesting because they had the triple way to kill me, or the triple way to kill my lands, and all I did for about 7 turns was just put Oath into play on turn 2, and they couldn't do anything. That's the power of Oath of Druids against creature decks. That's what I was talking about in the deck tech. So Blazing Archon can come in here. That stops them from going wide around me. Pyroblast doesn't do anything. I don't care about Veil of Summer. Flusterstorm is medium. I don't think I need Mental Misstep. Like, some builds of this play Ancestral Recall, but I don't think this is one of them. Also, like Force of Vigor is the card I'm most worried about. I definitely don't want Court of Bounty. Braid is pretty solid. It kills Vengevine and Hollow One. They're gonna have Force of Vigors in definitely. If they didn't have them game 1, they're definitely gonna have them now. Force of Negation can basically never counter Force of Vigor because that's just how that cycle works against itself. I could cut a Grizzlebrand, so I always have 2 monsters. And there's one more card I should cut here. Force of Will's not great, but it is good at countering Force of Vigor, which, like I keep saying, is the important card. So I think it's either Gitaxian Probe or Flusterstorm that gets the last cut here. And I think it's going to be Flusterstorm. Maybe it should be Gitaxian Probe. I'm going to cut Probe. Yeah, that looks good to me. Got my Graveyard Hate. Got my combo still intact. Got my protection for my combo. I'll keep this on the strength of the Graveyard Hate. If they do like a Hollow One plus Vengevine on turn 1, I could lose this game pretty quickly. All right, they kept 6. Once Upon a Time is such a good card. Uh-oh. So there's the Hollow One. There's the Bazaar. Do they also have the Vengevine? I don't have a Tabernacle, unfortunately, which is one of the ways you can beat this deck. You're like, oh god, they had the Vengevine and the 0. And their deck is built to do this. It's not like I should be shocked here, but that was a very good start. Yeah, this would have been a great hand to have Ravenous Trap instead of Soul Guide Lantern. So if I draw Oath, I might still have a chance here. All right, Force of Will. So if I think I need to preordain. Like wasting this Bazaar is tempting, but I don't think it's correct or reasonable to actually do. Strip Mine and Ren. I think the ship has sailed. So 4, 8, 9 puts me to 7 next turn, and then I'm just dead on board. Yeah, I don't think I can win this game anymore. And I don't want to show them Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, I don't want to play out. I'd have to play out the Soul Guide Lantern to maximize having another turn, but I don't think that that was going to happen. Okay, so gotta be faster than that is the lesson there. On the play, though, things get a lot better. So I'm going back in with the same deck. No. Yes. All right, I have the Oath. Unfortunately, Flusterstorm can't protect it meaningfully unless I draw a Mox next turn. All right, opponent's on 5. Or I could just wait a turn. I guess it depends on how fast they come out at me. Like, I can Flusterstorm a Once Upon a Time here, if that's something that I end up wanting to do. I'll Flusterstorm almost anything, honestly. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Not on my watch. So now I have the choice to ram the Oath into play or just strip mine them, and I think I'm going to strip them. And it might be wrong to fire off the strip mine like that when they could still just play Bazaar next turn, but I think if they had Bazaar, they would have done that instead of casting Burning Inquiry. Okay, yeah, they just have nothing. Well, okay. They don't have nothing. They have Wasteland. So I can put Oath into play, and I lose my land to the Wasteland if they have Force of Vigor. I mean, I guess it's fine. Let's make them have it. Put the shields up. And I have this Soul Guide Lantern, even if they do. Like, if they Force of Vigor plus Wasteland me, I'm actually pretty far from doing anything. But if they don't do all that, Soul Guide Lantern comes into play. Yeah, I'll keep all of this. Top, top. I'm gonna cast my Soul Guide Lantern here. I don't think I want to cast the Preordain because I basically only get to see one card off it this way because I already know that I want the Ponder. And I'm looking for something specific here, which is, oh yikes, which is Forbidden Orchard. All right, so I'm gonna Preordain first and then Ponder. All right, I don't actually want these. Hey, baby. Change of plans. Wrenn and 6 is coming into play. In the face of these two Wastelands, I'm jamming Wrenn and 6. Okay. Now I'm less scared. If they want to pressure Ren with a Vengevine, they've been slow rolling, then I get to trigger Oath. I can go to my turn and force a fight on these wastelands and then still have Ren to pick up the pieces at the end. All right, Oko. Is Oko actually good? I'm not convinced. I'm actually going to shuffle this. All right, let's do it. Let's start the fight. They waste back, and then Ren picks up one or the other of my lands. I'll get the Trop back. Can play Soul Guide Lantern. So now I can draw a card with one of these. I can also fire off my Gaia's Blessing as the cantrip. Yeah, I'll put my 3 cantrips back in my deck. There's the Orchard, all right. Now we're set up. So they're going to have to suddenly pivot next turn from doing nothing to trying to do everything. And they have to do it through 2 Soul Guide Lanterns. Surprise. So they should waste this in my end step so they can attack with their 1/1, unless they have a spell that they might need this colorless mana for. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, or they could slow roll that for this long. That works too. All right, I'll draw a card, see if I can find a blue card for force. All right, do they have another one? Nope. All right, cool. It's go time. All right, have they been slow rolling a Bazaar and several Vengevines, I guess is the question now. That's not a Bazaar. Goblin Lore, okay. 2 Once Upon a Times and Wasteland got discarded. That's not what they were looking for. I'll float a blue in their end step, give them a creature. We'll come to my turn, pop it off. I would prefer Grizzlebrand over Blazing Archon here, but oh yikes, only 9 cards left in my deck. Oh, that's okay. I'm gonna have Ren emblem pretty soon and just time walk my way to victory. So strip mine, take out their colored source. Ren, rebuy the strip mine, I guess. And then Ren can emblem next turn, time walk twice. And I have the backup Ren to regrow. Oh, I assume I milled time walk. Oh no, I pitched time walk. I can't time walk. All right, they're just conceding anyway. Yeah, I pitched the time walk to force. That wasn't even in my deck. Actually fine though, like 9 cards, 8 cards in my deck is plenty of turns to kill with Blazing Archon. All right, next round. Good show. I'm on the play for round 3 with a perfectly reasonable hand with force, some lands, and a preordain. I'm going to keep it. This looks like a RUG Xerox hand, which is great because I am partially that deck. Don't want Gaia's Blessing. I do want Retin 6. I'm going to need a red source, but that card is very good. Oh, we got a serious vintage baller here. They got the good arts. Noble Hierarch. I'm not going to fight over that. Come on, red source. Shit. Would have been insane to just pick off that Hierarch with Ren right there. Yeah, also the red source. Like, I now have 3 red cards in my hand. Like Oko, Leovold, like anything that they could normally cast this turn that I'd be scared of is blue. Oh, didn't want to attack for 2. Red source. Fuck. Alright, the wheels are coming off here. My opponent missed their land drop, though. Alright, they found one. What is happening over there? Oh, this might be a Hate Bears deck. Is this card beatable? I can Oko it. Oh, but my lands will come into play tapped. I'm going to force Pitching Force. I still think Oko is like the best thing I could be doing. If I can get Ren and 6 active, this game is probably going to end pretty quickly, because this is a Hate Bears deck. Alright, come on, deck. Red mana. Fuck. This... Oh my god. Alright. The old 5 red cards, no red mana hand. Though I am pretty set up for most of what they would do. Yeah, now I can actually answer that, but I do need a red source first. I'm bleeding out to this Noble Hierarch. And now my red source will take multiple turns to arrive. Alright, this is my spell for the turn. Can't even Oko because of Archon. Each player only casts 1 spell each turn. Alright, well, at least I get to Oko next turn. Unless they oof or wasteland me. And Elking doesn't really work because the Hierarch makes the Elk attack for 5, so I need to make food first. They could also just Force of Will, which I'm not excited about. I can even hard cast that Mamma Jamma. Fuck. Yep, and I couldn't play the Ruby first. Ruby was a good draw though, because that is a red source that comes into play untapped, so I can play Ruby, Abrade Archon, get Ren and 6 into play, maybe get control of this game. I guess it depends on what they have left over there in the tank. Please not collect a roof. Okay, that was their spell for the turn. Archon giveth and Archon taketh away. Okay, so I'm gonna abrade the Archon in combat next turn, like in response to the Exalted triggers. That'll save me damage for a turn. They did not shuffle their library. That's scary. They look frozen. Like, why can't I cast my spells? Because you don't get spells. Alright, there's my spell for the turn. Please don't Force of Vigor them. Okay, so I can abrade Archon, and then I can play Ren and 6. Alright, perfect. Just waiting for Ren and 6 to get a target anyway. Sucker. And if they have a counter spell, I probably lose. They have not played their spell for the turn yet. Alright, cool. That needed to happen. So now I can Ren. Fuck my life. I was about to say I can Ren, regrow my land, time walk, Ren again, but there's this asshole. Okay, whatever. We're done. Alright, so my deck is actually very good against their deck. I just need to draw spells that, or cast my spells. Like Red Source ends that game on the spot at any point. Flusterstorm doesn't matter. Their graveyard doesn't matter. I don't care about Blazing Archon either. Maybe Flusterstorm is still fine. This deck's going to have Ancestral Recall in it. We saw some counter spells. Wow, 59 cards. Maybe I do keep a Pyroblast in. I'm not excited about it. I don't think it really does anything, but I'm not sure that any of this other stuff does anything either. Like Soul Guide Lantern can cycle, I guess. All right. I'm just going to play this deck. I know Veil of Summer and Pyroblast aren't particularly exciting, but I've done everything I can do here. All right. Keep this. I'm going to preordain for a green source, and that should... I have a plan. Okay, top, keep both of these, just in case. So hopefully they just like play Noble Hierarch and pass the turn, and then I have Force of Will for whatever shit they have, and Oath will win the game. Though they did show me Daze. That's fucking scary. Black Lotus, huh? What's your plan with that? No respect for that one. That's also fine. All right, 2 cards left over there. Do I take a turn off to play around Daze, or do I just jam? I'm gonna jam. In Black Lotus, powerful card. Can't Flusterstorm that. They would have dazed it if they could, so I think my Force of Will is gonna do good work here. I could force that. I don't think I want to, though. All right, come on, Grizzfather. I need you. All right, Wasteland doesn't matter. Sure. All right, they're just passing the turn. Hope they don't play Stifle. All right, we get a trigger. Yes, I would like to put my Grizzlebrand into play against the Noble Hierarch deck. All right, so Gaia's Blessing, trigger that, which is good because both Grizzlebrands are in my bottom 4 cards. All right, get that out of here. This should be game by now. They have Swords to Plowshares. Is that a card you play? I could just let this resolve and trigger Oath again. Could also draw 7 in response. See what happens. But if I draw 7 and it's Grizzlebrand, maybe I'll just force this. That should be pretty good too. All right, so if I draw 7 and one of them's Grizzlebrand, I'm gonna wish I hadn't done this. But if one of them is Flusterstorm or Force of Will, all right, I think it's safer just to let that resolve. Feel free to call me a coward for that one. All right, Grizzlebrand's back. Guy's Blessing. All right. They seem surprised that I have a second creature. I guess they took the line they could take. Okay, so Swords to Plowshare is confirmed. I didn't show them that I was a Oath deck game one. Like they probably did just think I was RUG Xerox. So now if they didn't have their Force of Vigors in, they're going to at this point. I don't think having the Blazing Archon in is important, though it might be better than Court of Bounty. Though Court of Bounty has some text on it at least. Veil of Summer is really not that good. Yeah, maybe I'll bring in the Archon. If they Swords to Plowshares enough monsters, it could start to become a problem. Or if they just have Caracas, which is definitely a card they could have. Having a non-legendary creature is important. This hand is not a keep. It may surprise you. Hell yeah. I'm going to send one of these Okos away. I think having all these lands is more important. I really hate that Daze is in their deck. I hate playing around Daze in Vintage. What an insult to the format and to me personally. Oh, they had it too. Great. All right, I'm going to be pretty careful about my Ancestral Recall here. Like, I'm not going to jam it into a Daze if I can help it. God, it's such a bummer when you have an insane Vintage hand and so does your opponent, but you're on the draw. I would have cracked off this Ancestral Recall if I was on the play. If I could get in under Daze. Alright, this is an awful lot of Moxen for a deck with a bunch of Collector Roofs in it. Archon of Emeria. I don't really like that card. I don't really want to have to play against it. Do I pitch Time Walk or Oko? Probably Time Walk. They can't daze me here. They could double daze. They can force. Okay, that's fine. But Archon resolves. Oh shit. I already cast a spell. I was about to say they can't counter my Ancestral, but I've also already cast a spell this turn. Alright, I'll figure this out someday, how any of this works. Alright, I think red is generally less important than green. So, oh fuck. I forgot. Oh, I do have a basic though. My god. I forgot about the tap clause. I should have fetched in the end step. But I can get my basic at least. Yikes. I hope they do cast a spell so I can get my Ancestral off. Alright, they're just on the no spells, no problems plan. Yeah, I'll play the Trop. Yeah, the Scalding Tarn will take multiple turns to get anything into play. Yuck. Oh, Ancestral Recall's a hell of a card. You just get to do everything they want right now. If they spend mana on anything, I can Ancestral safely. Alright, let's keep making land drops, I guess. Luckily, 2 is not a lot of damage. Alright, now I can Ancestral. Alright, there's Oath. Oath and Abrade. So I can Abrade Archon, play my land. This we'll see. Just getting my Abrade Dazed kind of sucks, but I don't think I can play around that. How do they have like Tarmogoyf right now? That would suck. Okay, so 3 damage to this. All right, I got that in. Drop. Preordain. Brainstorm and Mental Misstep. I don't think I want Mental Misstep. Brainstorming Gaia's Blessing into my deck actually seems pretty reasonable. I am going to need an answer to this Containment Priest. The Oath isn't going to pop off, but Oko can answer Priest, I guess. But can it do it quick enough is the problem. I'm now at 6 life. I'm on a 2-turn clock. Non-token creature. Bummer. All right, so that's not free mana, as I would hope. Another Oath, another Oko. This actually sucks. I can put back the Blessing and the Pyroblast, I guess. Or one of the Oaths. I'm not going to need both. And then I can preordain those both to the bottom. Ugh. So if I play Oath now, I guess I might as well get it into play. It doesn't change the clock because the Exalted does the same extra damage as giving them a Spirit does. Okay, sure. So I need to draw a land off the top to start eating food. Yeah, I don't think they needed to daze that spell, but they did anyway. But I guess that makes sense. They don't know that my hand doesn't have a braid in it. So if I draw a land off the top, I can eat my food. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that doesn't even help. I don't have a Wrath in my deck. Well, they were correct to counter the Oath, it turns out. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I might still be able to do this. So I play Oath now. Oh no, I'm at 3. I was thinking like I'm at 6. No, I am dead. They're going to attack with all their creatures, and I'm going to die for Xaxes despite killing the priest. Yeah. 1 life point away. Yeah, doesn't matter. I'm not even going to show them that I had the Abrade. Oh, that was frustrating. I think this matchup is really, really, really good, but it certainly didn't look that way there. All right, next round. And I'm on the play in round 4 with... This hand's kind of weird. Like, if it had a red source, I'd be all in, but it doesn't. It actually doesn't do anything for several turns unless I draw a red source. I'm somehow going to mulligan this handful of great cards. Bummer. I have the turn 1 Orchard Mox, but no Oath to go with it. And I have the awkward combo of Orchard plus Court of Bounty again. I'll keep this one. Send Grizzlebrand and Gaia's Blessing to the bottom. This one at least has a Ponder to do stuff. If I find Oath, I have the Orchard. All right, they're in the tank about my Ponder. Tough card. So none of these are particularly, I guess the fetch land to go with the brainstorm is not nothing. And a second mana source that isn't Forbidden Orchard, not the worst either. Maybe I should have stacked Force of Negation on top, so if I need to force something this turn, I don't lose my brainstorm. Yeah, I want to shuffle away the Force of Negation, but also I don't know. Yeah, that was actually a tough ponder to stack. Like I would okay, yeah, it worked out okay because I genuinely prefer not to draw the Force of Negation at all. But if my opponent did something scary on turn one, I would have wanted to have it. All right, some sort of Bayou deck. So they're either Bug Xerox or some bizarre Hogak deck. There might be some Dark Ritual deck that plays Bayou. I'm not sure what's going on right now. All right, let's see what they got. It's Hardcast, Bloodcast. Dark Confidant. What year is it? All right, I'm going to brainstorm in response to this thing, and then I can also Veil of Summer. Maybe this is a Dark deck, Depths deck. All right, brainstorm, and I'm holding up Veil. Double Wasteland, huh? All right, so I don't think I'm going to need Forbidden Orchard. And I'll put back one of the Wastelands. It is pretty awkward that I don't get red mana if I want to Veil this turn, but I guess I just won't Veil this turn, is the answer to that. Yeah, I'm just going to fetch for Volcanic Island and hope to find Oath. And it feels kind of weird to Wasteland them when they have Dark Confidant to just recoup all that. Abrupt Decay is historically one of Oath's greatest nemesis. So this Veil of Summer could come into play. It sucks I drew a second Volk because having double green is going to be pretty important now. Elvish Reclaimer. Alright, so pretty safe to guess they're a depth deck. Hex Mage. That's probably worth forcing. They're holding up Veil, which kind of scares me. Yeah, they have the Reclaimer right here, so giving them a Hex Mage gives them a straight line to their combo. And I think I will Veil just to draw a card this turn. No attack. Afraid of Snapcaster Mage. Alright, that's not going to help. This has gone off the rails. Now that I know what they're up to, I mean, this was also a Malta 5, for the record. That Assassin's Trophy is a problem. So now I need a blue card to go with my force, and I need the Oath. Maybe they'll just crack it off thinking I don't play any basics. What do you think? Any chance that's going to happen? I don't think so. Uh-oh. Now they have Merit Lage imminent. Great. All right, I'm dead. I can't come back from that. That was too good, too creaturey. My draw was, oh, Ren and 6 would have been great a lot earlier, but okay. Yeah, my draw was set up to play more of a control-y type game, and that's not what I got. So the Abrades come in, Veil of Summer stays in. That's going to be very important. I think Blazing Archon might want to come in too, because Grizzlebrand does not match up against Merit Lage. Blazing Archon does, though, and Oko will eventually get around that edge too. Don't think I'm going to want Force of Vigor and Null Rod. I don't think their graveyard is super important. Yeah, I just don't have a lot to sideboard in this matchup, and that's fine. It's a thing that happens. Luckily, I never showed them the Orchard. I never showed them an Oath. I guess, quote unquote, luckily. It was lucky that my plan did not come together at all. I didn't show them anything that indicates that I'm not RUG Xerox. Turn 1 W6 and strip mine. Yep. Okay, so I get to Ren, regrow my land, fetch, or Ren, fetch, regrow my land, and preordain, and then I have strip mine waiting next turn. This is pretty good. Maybe I should preordain first. Why would I do that? I don't know. I guess like Mindbreak Trap is the only thing I'm worried about. Force of Vigor, killing my 2 Moxen doesn't really matter if I have Ren going. I am gonna preordain first though. Alright, I think I want the Trop more. Oh, hello. I don't think I want Black Lotus. I do want this Oath for sure. Alright. If they have Mindbreak Trap, let's hope they didn't draw it, though I don't know why they would have that card in against Xerox. Okay, so now they're under the gun from Ren Strip Mine, and they don't even know about this Oath. I might not have to show them Oath. If I get the Strip Mine hook in on turn 2, then the game might not even go that long. Oh, Bajuka Bog, you poor embarrassing little fella. All right, let's get a peek. What you doing? Vamp Tutor, Thespian Stage, Retreat to Hagra. Okay, interesting. They might just concede to the Strip Mine. I wouldn't think any less of them. Drawing Oko was insane though, because now I have a real threat and I still don't have to show them Oath. Yeah, they're just conceding to the Strip Mine. Don't have to show them anything. Perfect. All right, cool. So going into game 3, they still don't know I'm a combo deck. In fact, they're probably pretty sure I'm a RUG Xerox deck at this point. Yeah, still nothing changes. I saw Retreat to Hagra. Do I bring in Force of Vigor for that? I don't think so. All right, right back in, same deck. I am pretty impressed with how Marshall has snuck this pretty reasonable Oath plan into an also pretty reasonable RUG Xerox deck. I really hope we get to go off with Court of Bounty at some point, or at least resolve it in a situation that it's good. Like, I would just like to become the Monarch before this league is over. This card has been medium to risky to actively bad every time we drew it so far. And it's gotten boarded out a couple times. All right, show me a turn 1 oath. Just give it to me. It's not a turn 1 oath. It is a turn 2 Oko. I'm gonna keep this. I have the strip mine that can hold the shields up against Merit Lage. I think I do want to preordain on turn 1 though, because we'll see what my draw step is first. All of that matters. If I do draw Oath, I wonder if I even play it on turn 1. Like, do I just jam it into Abrupt Decay and Assassin's Trophy with no protection? I guess it'll depend on if they play anything. Like, if they play Elvish Reclaimer, I will put Oath on the stack. Of course, I'm already speculating. I'm making up lines based on not knowing what they've done and not having the Oath yet. So all of this is nonsense. Ignore me. Turn 2 Oko is pretty solid. If I draw Ren, I can cast it on turn 1 also. Elvish Reclaimer is actually pretty scary. That's sick. That's a lot scarier. I wonder if they can turn 1. Yeah, if they go Hex Mage Crop Rotation, I actually lose. Oh, and they can still do that. They can Thoughtseize Hex Mage Crop Rotation. God, I hope that's not their hand. All right, they took the Oko, which is not going to matter if I'm dead right now. They're in the tank though, so okay, good. That's not crop rotation, not directly. Okay, that can represent Merit Lage. So I think I want to play my strip mine. Does that make any sense? Like strip mine will keep me safe from an imminent Merit Lage. I could just strip this land right now. But then if they play Dark Depths from hand, I'm fucked. So yeah, I'm just gonna play strip mine and pass. I'm gonna have to take it slow while getting beat down for 2 or 3 damage a turn. Yeah, glad I played strip mine because this second land, just you activate Reclaimer, put in Dark Depth Sec, Hex Mage immediately, make a 20/20, and then I have to beat a 20/20 after they strip my Oko. If they didn't have the Thoughtseize, I actually could have beaten that line. But they did have the Thoughtseize. God, Black Lotus. Powerful magic card. All right, so I get to, oh, they're attacking. All right, so they must not have a good answer to strip mine, or else they would not be attacking with Reclaimer. It's weird to fetch in the middle of combat, unless you're going to crop rotate. So they need one more land in the graveyard before Reclaimer grows. The fuck is this? They have some ninja? I'm not sure what's happening. Okay. Oh, they have another Hex Mage. That's what's happening. Oh, they have Dark Confidant. That's also pretty good. All right, so a Braid is a very good draw. Wasteland. That's not even good because then we both have 0 lands, but they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 power in play. Yeah, that's a no-go from me. time to preordain. I need to find an oath very quickly. Uh-oh. All right, I'm in trouble. All right, don't care about Moxjet. Basically, mana sources are like the number one thing that I'm not scared of, because their creatures are good against me. Unless I find Oath, the creatures will remain to be good against me. And spells are also good against me. So it's scary times here. All right, they are holding back the Reclaimer this time. That makes a lot of sense because even if they don't do anything else, they can at least make Reclaimer a 3-power creature. All right, they're all in. They played this forest, so there are no secrets. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. All right, Oath of Druids, surprise. I'm this. I probably should have played Wasteland instead of the second Trop. That was stupid. Yeah, now there like could be some world where I lose to a series of lands. I don't know what series of lands it would be, but it could happen. Let's see, do they just get some utility land here, or do they get the Dark Depths and at least threaten me with it? Though it's not even really a threat because I have Strip Mine. Oh, I know what they're going to do. They're going to get Wasteland, waste my Strip Mine, and then when I strip back, they're going to rotate that into Dark Depths. And if I had played the second Wasteland, that line isn't there. So, bad play from me. I just autopiloted my land drop, not thinking about everything that would come of it. All right, I need to fade Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy this turn. Like, if I can trigger Oath, I actually think I'm going to do all right here. All right, well, there's a depth straight up. They don't even need to rotate now, but at least it's not Assassin's Trophy. Yep. If this was in play, okay, so if Oath hits Grizzlebrand, I can lose to a rotation for Caracas. Like if they rotate for Caracas right now, I'm surprised they didn't sack this Bayou to Elvish Reclaimer, unless they have a spell to play. Also, if they think they have another turn, like if they don't main phase this, thinking my Strip Mine's gone, I can just play my Wasteland and get under it. And they're going to attack first regardless, like get your 2 damage, definitely. But Elvish Reclaimer attacking here, they either have the Abrupt Decay or they don't play Caracas. Those are the only things that explain that attack. All right, looks like I'm getting a trigger. And they didn't main phase, though they've seen Oko out of me, so I guess it makes sense. I sort of have them in a pinch here. All right, Grizzlebrand's in play. So is Wasteland. Gotcha. Okay, then Gaze Blessing. I'm going to target myself, put Oko, Ancestral Recall, and do I want Wrenn and 6? I play a number of those already. Oko, Ancestral Recall, and uh, Time Walk in my deck. Yeah, I'll just shuffle in good cards into my deck here. Then I'm going to hold on to these Moxen and hope they don't have Caracas just in their hand naturally. Misstep, okay. So I can trigger, oh god, they have that. So they drew Wasteland, at least it's not Caracas. They can waste me, I have to waste back, then they get Merit Lage. Alright, so now we're playing this game. Yeah, them finding Wasteland right there was pretty solid. So now we play the game of, do I activate Oath of Druids trying to spike the Blazing Archon? It's 50-50. And I think I do. Actually, I'm like pretty sure that I do. How do I actually win this game? I think Ren and 6 is involved. I think I need to get Blazing Archon into play, hide behind it, and then Ren and 6 a few times. Let me just make sure I boarded Archon in. Okay, yes I did. All right, spiked it. 11 cards left in my deck. All right, there's the Grizzlebrand. Are any of the cards left in my deck Ren and 6? 1, 2. There is one left in there. All right, this is pretty awkward at this point, but here we are. I just have to hope Dark Confidant kills them before I deck myself, basically. I think that's what I'm playing towards. And if they attack with Dark Confidant, oh, they can't because of Blazing Archon. Oh no, retreat to Hagra, that can kill me. Each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Are you kidding? I'm gonna lose to retreat to Hagra. I guess they need the mana to play it first. Wow, Bajuka Bog, fuck. I might just lose to that. All right, yeah, I have to beat this Dark Confidant now. Or race the Dark Confidant. I guess I can attack with Grizzlebrand and gain 7, so I'm not actually worried about retreat to Hagra. All right, what's been exiled? My Gaia's Blessing is in exile, which is the one I was most concerned about. Guess I should check my deck for Okos. I am not going to activate Oath this time. You do not have to activate Oath. All right, so let me see. 1, 2. Oh, is that all 3 Okos? One, two. Oh, I need this to be bigger. My eyes are old and feeble. 1, 2. Yeah, I only see 2 Okos in this exile zone. All right, so there's a Ren and 6 and an Oko left in the deck. I can also attack with Grizzlebrand and then cast the other one with Black Lotus if I need a burst of life. Though Oko should win the game on the spot when I draw him. And he's in there somewhere. They can also Assassin's Trophy my Blazing Archon and attack. I end up gaining 7. I play the second Grizzlebrand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. So I guess technically I could play the second Grizzlebrand, and I don't know what the fuck's happening right now. Oh, Demonic Tutor, shit. Alright, this is gonna get the trophy, kill the Archon. Yeah, so Dark Confidant ran away with this game. Like on an equal board state where I have Grizzlebrand and they don't, I'm favored, but if they're drawing 2 cards a turn and I'm not, then I'm in trouble again. Also, just drawing Gaia's Blessing early in the game instead of getting to mill it with Oath was super punishing. If I had a deck full of cards right now to draw, that would be a different story. Is the basic island still in my deck? I'd be surprised if it is, but I guess anything's possible. No, it's not. But when they trophy this, I can at least look at my deck. All right, what's still in here? Court of Bounty, 2 of Braids, Oko, Mental Mist, or Oko and Wrenn and 6. Okay, so the line of finding Oko still exists. You have to block with this Grizzlebrand. They should have attacked with all their creatures. All right, let's just draw Oko right now, and I can actually win this game. All right, target you. Do not activate Oath. Oko. Time Walk is not bad. So, Black Lotus. Uh, black. Oh, wait. This costs 4 black, doesn't it? Damn it, Grizzlebrand, you asshole. I should not have played that Black Lotus. I thought Grizzlebrand was 3 black. Now I'm going to lose. Oko. Yep, okay. I had this master plan to cast Grizzlebrand. Like, you all heard me working up to that plan, and it just didn't work. Okay. Dark Confidant was too good. Court of Bounty. Where were you? Yeah, that just came down to a top deck war, and they had Dark Confidant, and I didn't. They also, or it may have actually come down to me playing Wasteland or not on that turn. Like, I'm not going to blame the top deck war when I probably could have kept Merit Lage out of play. Yeah, I didn't play that game perfectly, and it came down to a very close. It ended up in a top deck war that I lost, but yeah, just unfortunate things. That's the backside of Oath that I mentioned. Like sometimes you just draw your Gaia's Blessing, and it's not as good in your hand as it is in your deck, or whatever. You draw your Grizzlebrand that you can't cast. Yeah. Most Oath decks, like it's not unusual to get to a point in the game where you can cast your monsters. It's just this deck only has the 1 extra black source on top of Black Lotus because it doesn't have the full 5 Moxen. And it's not a black deck itself. Like Fenton Oath back in the day was a bug deck because it played Thoughtseize and Abrupt Decay in itself. So, all right, yep, that is a thing. That was close. Another close one. I'm on the draw in the final round. I'm going to keep. This is a pretty interactive hand. This is a very Xerox hand here. Polluted Delta, huh? Are we playing against Doomsday? Just fear the worst. I have a Wrenn and a Wasteland, some cantrips, some interaction. Like this hand is pretty solid. Fetching for Underground Sea in the end step. Oh, bug stuff. Night's Whisper. Do I want to Flusterstorm that? I mean, maybe. Yeah, like I have all these Pyroblasts in hand. I can point the Flusterstorm at the card it can counter. So I can brainstorm or I can just crack off Wasteland here. All right, I'm going to take them off black. If they have a Wasteland of their own, I'm in trouble. All right, do I want to beat up on Preordains? Sure. Just going to take the super aggressive posture here. I'm not sure if it's good, but I'm doing it. Come on, Greenland. Yeah, Greenland. So I'm actually going to hold this up, be a little patient, and hopefully I can get a good brainstorm and then protect Ren with Pyroblast or Veil of Summer next turn. Wow, Soul Ring. It seems funny to be surprised to see Soul Ring in Vintage, but it's not a card that gets a lot of play anymore. I hope they don't have Hull Breacher. All right, they didn't have Hull Breacher. So I'm a long way off from this Oath being helpful, and do I need a second Ren? Like, so basically the game is I can jam Ren onto the stack and hope it resolves, or I can do some backflips to protect it. All right, I'm actually going to shuffle away the second Ren. I would really like to find a third land here. It basically doesn't matter what kind of land it is. Even Force of Will would be great. I should specify Mystic Sanctuary is not what I want, in case my deck is listening and gives me any land, Monkey Paw style, which is usually how this works. Perfect. All right, go get them. And having both Pyroblast and Veil, it didn't matter if I drew Trop or Valk there. Like I had the play either way. So they forced Pitching Force. They have one card left over there. I hope it's not Tinker. All right, all in. Don't Tinker me. Though if they had Tinker in hand with Force of Will, they would have played it last turn. They had the mana, they had the Force backup. So their hand is not Tinker, unless they just drew it. And now they're going to be in the squeeze against Ren and 6. All right, get wasted. Preordain. All right, so I'll put the Force on top with Oko under it. Now I have a win con and lots of protection. What are they doing here? And once again, I'm going to win this game without giving up that I'm Oath. Veil of Summer feels so good in this spot. Sometimes it feels terrible, but it feels really good right now. All right, so I'm going to return one of my fetch lands to my hand so I can play Oko with Pyroblast or Veil of Summer backup as needed. Hello, Co. So they can Red Blast Oko in play, but they would have Red Blasted on the stack if they had that. I'm still sitting on this wasteland here. Ren is 2 turns away from going ultimate. All right, not sure what they're thinking about here. Yeah, this is going to turn into a very Xeroxy steamroll, I think. Oh, they have something. Making a move. It's Vamp Tutor. Yeah, sure. They're probably vamping for Tinker. All right, let me just make sure there's 3 Volcanic Islands in the deck. There are, in fact, 3 Volcanic Islands in the deck. All right, so I can Pyroblast and Force of Will the Tinker. Oh, Black Lotus. Oh, are they just holding Citadel? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they just drew their Citadel. So if they have Flusterstorm, I have Veil. Okay, yep. They had nothing. All right, proper Xeroxing. They do appear to be some sort of outcome, or I guess they don't necessarily know their outcome, but they are a combo deck. Probably outcome related. Is it time to bring in the Null Rods? They haven't shown up yet. Pyroblast definitely coming in. All right, what's less good? I probably don't actually care about Veil or a Braid that much. That's not what this game's going to be about. It's not about Oath either, because they're not a deck that has creatures of their own, and I only have the 1 Orchard. So the way this deck is built, I probably just want to lean into being a Xerox deck. Actually, here's something that we haven't done yet that I actually think might have some merit. Just cut all of this shit and go all the way into Xerox. And there's just not enough cards to do that. Like, I could bring the Veil back in, and I guess I could play Force of Vigor if I want. But yeah, that's not something I really strongly considered at any point, but it does have some merit. But I'm not gonna do that. So I have in everything I want. So I could just bring in Veil and a Braid and go down another Oath and a Grizzlebrand. I don't know. Like, Oath is pretty bad against faster combo decks historically, but very good against creature decks, and Xerox is very good against combo decks and like pretty bad against Oath decks. So I'm gonna do this, just the Null Rods and the Pyroblast. Yeah, that's my plan. This should be a good matchup for Court of Bounty, though. If I get a chance to cast it, I don't think they're going to be able to take the Monarch. On the draw here, I'm going to keep this. It's got Selection, Force of Will, Interaction, and an Oath. And they're not expecting the Oath, so that's extra exciting. As long as I don't... Or I even have the Force. I was about to say as long as I don't get turn 1'd, but even have the Force for that. So I'm going to Misty Rainforest pass on turn 1, because I want my double protection for Tinker available. Like, casting Preordain on turn 1 and losing that layer of protection just doesn't make any sense. Second Preordain on turn 2. Like, not dying is the goal here. When you're playing Xerox, the goal is always don't die. Like, you'll win somehow as long as you don't lose. And that is my plan. All right, they have the red mock, so they're representing Pyroblast. All right, I mean, I could play out this Emerald, which could help me play around like something like Daze, which I have got hit by Daze. They might also have to respect Veil of Summer. I don't think I actually showed it to them. No, they never actually saw it in game 1. And I don't want to get dacked, but I will run it out. Just make them think about Veil of Summer at least. And I don't think they have Daze, but in case they do, let's make sure it doesn't happen. Gorgeous. That's actually completely fucking fine. They think this is a pivot, but surprise, I'm Oath. Yeah, they think that Mana Gorger Hydra is going to crush RUG Xerox, which it normally does, but I got bad news for you. All right, so now I can Oath with 2 layers of protection. Whoops. So this Gorger is going to get pretty big because we're going to have this counter war here, but I don't care. Grizzlebrand's bigger. A turn 2 Gorger Hydra with Force of Will backup's usually pretty good in this matchup. Just hope they don't play Abrupt Decay. I can beat an Assassin's Trophy. I have another layer of counter spells here, but Abrupt Decay would actually probably end the game. I think it would have been on the stack by now if they had it. Time Walk. How much damage does that do? 5, 10. It deals 10. If I force this, it deals 12, and they have Pyroblast. So 5, 10, I'm at 9. If this Hydra gets above 7 power, I'm actually in some trouble. All right, do I think they have Pyroblast? Do I care if they have Pyroblast? Probably not. Okay, they didn't have it. That's good. Pithing Needle naming Grizzlebrand, and this is a 7/7, so that's actually kind of scary. All right, Grizzlebrand is in chump mode. They have an 8/8. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So what needs to happen here, I'm going to mill my Grizzlebrand, and then I need to preordain into an Abrade for the Needle. Okay, so this does have Trample, which is a small consideration to make. Blessing, nope. Force of Negation. All right, yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't have to block. I can go to 2 and try to race. So if I go to 2, oh no, then I'll go back up to 9. I don't win that race. That's a bad race. Yeah, I'm gonna have to block and then just get my other Grizzlebrand and hope my draw step's good. What, you have more spells? Don't do more spells. Yogg will. Yeah, I don't need that to happen. Encountering it grows the Gorger, but everything grows the Gorger. It's gorgeous. Did I board out my Abrades? I don't even have a braid. I'm drawing to nothing. This Oko is my draw I can hit. That at least takes the trample off this thing. And am I just dead? Not quite. So if I don't block this time, Time Walk is still in my deck. Okay, so I don't block, I go to 3. I attack, I go to 10. I can draw Time Walk to keep playing. Okay, that doesn't change the clock. No blocks. Come on, Time Walk or Oko. That's not either of those. So if I block, I go to 9 and they trample over for 5. Wow. Absolute crushing here. Gorger, just absolutely bullying. Second Gorger. I couldn't beat the first one. What are you doing to me? All right, I'm gonna fetch. I'm gonna force this one. Let me just look if there's any out here. Pretty sure there's not. No, even if I elk the thing, I don't have a blocker now. So yeah, that's the game. Ouch. Got Gorgered. They had the pivot. I also had the pivot, but they just had a hand that could outmuscle Grizzlebrand. Fuck. Actually, it was the pithing needle that really shut that down. They had just the correct spread of things there. So Blazing Archon is going to come in now that I know that that's a thing they can do. Court of Bounties coming out against the Gorger plan. A Braid's coming in. Do I want to shave on Oaths? No, because I think that the Oath plan is my best plan against the Gorger. So a Braid, one less Pyroblast, because they probably boarded out most of their POs, or at least lots of their POs. Force of Negation can also take a walk. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Do I want the third Abrade? Do I want to max out on early answers to a Gorger? I might not need the Null Rods anymore, because if they're on Gorger, that gets a lot worse. That's too many Abrades. I'm a fucking combo deck. I should have some respect for myself. Do I want 4 Pyroblasts or 3 and 1 Veil? I think I want 4 Pyroblast. Yeah, alright. I'm going in with this build. I'll keep this Strip Mine hand. This is a super Jeskai Xerox hand. It has Force and Pyroblast though, so I can fight over a Gorger. I think I could, I don't remember the exact situation, but I'm pretty sure I had Force for the Gorger and I just decided to ignore it and win the fight over Oath. So definitely could have won that last game, but they really did have to flex on me for that to happen the way it did. Well, they can Pyroblast or Flusterstorm me. All right, they didn't do it. All right, just cast Ancestral, and then I'll Pyroblast it, and then I'll Strip Mine you, and then we won't have a game. Okay, that is whatever. Top doesn't matter if you can't spin it. All right, so we 2 for 2'd the Lotus and the Gorger for the Force and the Gush, and then a 1 for 1. Now this top's in play. Let's see if their hand remains functional after all that. Is this the fight I want to fight? Yeah, I think they kept that hand on the strength of Black Lotus Gorger, so I'm gonna beat up on them and start fueling my graveyard for Dig. All right, Oko is a real plan. I'm not ready to Abrade Sensei's top just to put Abrade in the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm still 1 short of Dig Through Time, even if I do all that. And Ren and 6 would have been insane there. I think I will point Abrade at like any mana rock that comes into play, though. Hopefully they'll just miss a land drop though, and I don't have to worry about any of this. Though I also need a land drop. So we're in one of these ugly vintage games where we both had some aggressive back and forth on turn 1 and 2, and now we're just sort of farting around. Fuck. All right, punished by being an oath deck. This is the trade-off here. Once again, like jamming this powerful combo into your Xerox deck isn't free. We're in exactly the sort of situation where every draw step matters, and I just drew an uncastable card. Yep, get a good look. It's bad. Yeah, now they know the coast is clear for whatever they want to do. And this fetch land with the top is pretty scary. Yeah, if they start like Night's Whispering here, they're going to pull ahead pretty quick. Okay, so they can get Ancestral and cast it right now, and they know it's going to resolve. I'm going to destroy the top. All right, now they get to draw their Ancestral for free, but at least top is out of play. Oh god. Did I make it worse? Pithing Needle on Oko. Yeah, that sucks. Alright, so fetch land lets me cast Dig Through Time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I didn't need a fetch land. I can just regular land. I'm just going to jam here. They have to force or Flusterstorm. Ah, damn it. Yeah, if they had Flusterstorm, you know, whatever. Like I'm not going to be able to play around it next turn either. I'm just jamming what I have. Yep, in a lot of trouble. Drawing Grizzlebrand on that turn where we were in a close Xerox game is just not really a thing you can afford to do. And now they can resolve Tinker as they please. Oh, outcome. Yeah, outcome for 2, not too bad. They have to replay the top or the needle. I'm glad I removed the top because that would have been 2 extra cards they can draw, an extra mana off the Academy. As I will play the Oko even if they have it needled because I do have removal for needle in my deck. Though I just cast one of them and I only have 2. Yeah, this is the backside. We in game 1 we saw where the Xerox deck just gets the hooks in and it looks like the combo deck can't do anything. But if the combo deck breaks the shield and starts doing stuff, it goes the other way very quickly. Where when you're like top decking Preordain or whatever against, great. All right, and I'm not even going to play the Mox because it grows the Hydra. All right, this looks like it's going to be a losing league, though. As hopefully you've been following along for the gameplay narration and not just the results, because most of the games that I lost, I could have done something differently that would have won instead, or at least could have won instead. All right, well, this is kind of a challenge because they have Mana Gorger Hydra in play, so they're highly incentivized to cast spells, and they didn't cast any spells last turn, which makes me think their hand is full of counterspells, and I just have to hope that they're all Pyroblast, because I'm going to go after this Pithing Needle right now and see what happens. They're probably just going to easily hardcast Force, and then I'm done. I couldn't go after the Gorger, like dealing 3, because then any spell, whether it resolves or not, makes Gorger too big. All right, come on, Oath of Druids. Oh, Pyroblast not helpful here. Yeah, like there is. Did I board out a Grizzlebrand? No, I didn't. Okay, so if I draw Oath, there is still one more Grizzlebrand in the deck that can try to win this game. They've generously attacked Oko with their Gorger all along instead of my face. Like I could be just about dead right now, but Oath off the top could win this game. All right, here we go. Drew it. I even have the Pyroblast. And this counter war is going to make the Gorger a 7/7. And I already have the 2 other monsters in my hand, because fucking obviously, why wouldn't I? Alright, yep, alright, I'm dead. Mana Gorger Hydra, bigger than Grizzlebrand, confirmed. Okay, so 1 and 4, but I did not play perfectly. As you can see, this was a big case of me showing up with a deck I'm not super familiar with, and I did give up a lot of little percentage points here and there. I don't know if I did any like egregious, like I just miscounted and punted kind of things, but definitely like macro level sequencing of what matters and what's worth. Like should I pitch my time walk to make sure my Ren and 6 resolves, or should I hope that Ren does resolve and then time walk and get Ren twice? Like those are the decisions I could have made differently, and they would have mattered a lot. This deck is pretty cool. I still don't know if I would trust Oath in a tournament. I mean, Marshall is clearly doing well with the deck, but after playing RUG Xerox so much lately, it just felt so bad every time I drew Grizzlebrand. Like that last game especially, where it's like, okay, the board is at parity. Maybe I'm even slightly ahead, but I need to get some velocity now. Draw Grizzlebrand, draw Blazing Archon, 2 turns in a row. It's like, oh great, while my opponent found their Ancestral Recall and buried me. Like that sort of thing. I don't know if I can live with that, unfortunately, because I do love Oath of Druids. But sweet deck. Oliver, thanks for asking me to play it. Hopefully this was educational, even if you didn't see a lot of wins. It was certainly educational for me. I would play this deck a lot better if I went through it again. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.